Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the senior taster of Whisky.com. This is my son Ben, the master taster of Whisky.com. And today we're tasting the Bruichladdich The Classic Laddie.
A true classic from the Isle of Islay, but a bit of an odd one out on the Isle of Islay, because this one is not smoky whiskey. And usually the Isle of Islay is known for their really smoky whiskies. But nonetheless, the Bruichladdich Distillery has smoky whiskey, heavily smoky and very heavily smoky whiskies under the brands of Port Charlotte and Octomore.
So the Bruichladdich is an old distillery from Islay, and they came part of a big distillers conglomerate, which was then bought by the Americans, and they used the Bruichladdich for, in one of the more intense ingredients for the blended whiskies, but they didn't need the smokiness, but they wanted to have the intensity. So this was the reason why Bruichladdich produced for centuries, for more than a century, non-smoky whiskey. But then they changed, or then they were closed due to a lack of demand, and then they were sold to independent entrepreneurs, and they brought it up, and now they're again into the hands of a big company, but the big company let them do it their way. And one of the first whiskies which came out was the Classic Laddie, I think, after the time of the closure. So this helps to preserve the storage of Bruichladdich for older brands, older bottles, and this has no age statement on it, but is a very classic of Bruichladdich. The specialty is that they use just barley from Scotland. No, not from Scotland. Yeah, from Scotland.
Scotland.
There is a Islay barley from Bruichladdich as well. They use barley just from Islay.
Yeah, the distillery was really on authenticity, Scottishness, and Scottish production. And the thing is, every distillery takes Scottish water. Every distillery produces in Scotland. They are forced by law to bottle in Scotland. The only thing that is really a question of importing or not is the barley. And I think the yeast is also pretty much always from Scotland. Close race, you against the cap.
I always win. And Bruichladdich is one of the very few distilleries, if not only the only distillery on Islay which bottles themselves on their own bottling line. Yeah. I don't see anything. So Bruichladdich does not color, does not chill filter, so everything is natural. Just the color is a little bit unnatural. I mean the color of the bottle and the tin. You can see it has already some color gained up, so it's not a 3-year one old, it's a 7, 8, 9-year-old probably. So it shows some color from the cask. Very different to the last one I had. Yeah, wow. So this is a 50% ABV. So you have to have some alcoholic influence, and this one smells a little bit like mint. So the mint, the cooling note of mint. Then some floral notes. And a little sweet maltiness. Yeah, that's main.
It's nice. It's a subtle one. You wouldn't notice it that it is an Islay malt, because it feels like a nice bourbon cask, first fill, second fill mixture, and it has a lot of maltiness in it, a bit of a freshness. Yeah, you can talk about if it's mint or citrus or something else. I don't know. Depends on how you smell at it. And floral, surprisingly unsweet for me. It does have these notes that typically sweet, but there's not much sweetness in there.
Yeah, after some time of smelling, those floral notes vanish a little bit. There's more intensity in it. And I think a little bit of the Isla Sea is in it as well. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. 50% ABV, 100 proof, rough. That's a big mouthful. Just triggering, mouth-watering. Brown sugar, sweet malt, oak, sweet oak. Yeah, warming.
Beautiful bottling. It's it does have everything that a Scotch needs, but it's very subtle and surprisingly a lot of oak in it from my point of view, because I thought, yeah, no age statement,
Yeah, look, it's
a bit
it's
younger,
quite-
but
it has some color.
it has some color, and so there is oak in it, and you wouldn't get that from the nose. The nose is just maltiness, floral notes, fresh notes, but when you swallow it, you do have a bit of a oak influence. That is dry, like dry wood, but then you also have a bit of a sweet note to it, malty notes to it. There's everything going around in that bottle, and
Now,
I like that.
Second smell, there's more vanilla in it. Yeah. So it matured quite well. Yeah. Okay.
It's just a classic. It's called the Classic Laddie, and it's definitely a classic. It's not that of an old bottling that you'd have for decades because it's after the reopening, but it's there for, was it 20 years now or something like that?
A little bit more.
A little bit more, and yeah, it became a classic over these 2 decades, and yeah, I like it. So if you see it, just give it yourself a buy. It's a whole Scottish production. So do you think it's important that all the whiskey is made in Scotland and just all the ingredients from Scotland, or can you import some barley from Czech Republic or Germany? So write it down in the comments below what you think about that discussion. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.